Welcome to Cozy Sleepy Tales, a place where soft stories guide you into deep, magical sleep. Take a slow breath. Let the day fade away and allow this cozy world of gentle fantasy to carry you into rest. If this peaceful space feels like home, consider subscribing. New Sleepy Tales arrive every week to keep you company through the night. Your story begins now. The snow falls slowly here. Each flake drifts down through the cold air, touching the ground without sound, settling into the layers that came before. The world is white and soft and still. You can see the academy in the distance. Its towers rise against the gray winter sky, gentle shapes through the falling snow. Warm light glows in its many windows. Lanterns hang along the walls, their flames steady and golden, small points of warmth in the winter evening. Your footsteps are quiet in the snow. Each step presses down softly. The snow gives way beneath your boots, then settles around them. You walk slowly. There is no hurry here. The cold air touches your face, gentle and clean. The academy grows closer with each slow step. You can see more of it now. Stone walls, old and solid. Arched windows with frost at their edges. Smoke rising from chimneys, drifting up into the falling snow and disappearing into the gray sky above. The wind is soft here. It moves through the air without force, carrying snowflakes in lazy spirals. It whispers against your coat, touches your hands, moves on. Everything is gentle. Everything is slow. Lanterns line the path ahead. They stand on posts beside the walkway, each one holding a small flame that does not flicker. The light they cast is warm and golden. It touches the snow around them, making it glow softly. Between the lanterns, the path is darker, but not frightening. Just quiet. You can see the main gates now. They are tall and made of dark wood, banded with iron that has turned gray with age and weather. The gates are open. They have been open for a long time. Snow has gathered in their corners, in the places where the wood meets the stone. No one stands guard here. There is no need. This place is safe. It has always been safe. The academy waits, patient and warm, as it has waited through many winters before this one. You pass through the gates. The courtyard opens before you, wide and white with snow. More lanterns hang here along the walls, beside doorways, near the edges of pathways you cannot quite see beneath the snow. Their light is steady. Their flames do not move. In the center of the courtyard, a fountain stands silent. It is made of stone, carved with patterns you cannot quite make out in the dim light and falling snow. The water has frozen. Ice fills the basin, smooth and pale. Snow rests on top of the ice, gathering in soft mounds. The main building rises ahead. It is large and old, built of stone that has darkened with time. Windows glow with inner light. You can see shadows moving behind some of them, gentle and slow, people going about their quiet evening tasks. Smoke continues to rise from the chimneys. It drifts upward, gray against the darkening sky, carrying the scent of burning wood. The smell is faint from here, but it speaks of warmth inside, of fires burning in hearths, of rooms where the cold cannot reach. You walk across the courtyard. Your steps are the only sound. Snow continues to fall, touching your shoulders, your hair, melting slowly against the warmth of your skin. The air is cold but not harsh. It settles around you like a blanket, heavy and soft. Near the main doors, the light is stronger. 2 large lanterns hang on either side of the entrance, their flames twice the size of the others in the courtyard. They cast circles of warm light across the snow, across the stone steps that lead up to the doors. The doors themselves are massive. Dark wood, polished smooth by countless hands over countless years. Iron handles worn bright by use. Hinges thick and strong. One door stands slightly open, and through the gap you can see light spilling out, warm and golden. You climb the steps. Each one is wide and shallow, made of stone that has been worn down in the center, where feet have walked for generations. Snow has gathered in the corners of each step. Your boots leave prints that fill slowly with fresh snow as you climb. At the top, you pause. The warmth from inside touches your face. You can feel it now, flowing out through the open door, meeting the cold air, mixing with it. The contrast is gentle. Everything here is gentle. You step inside. The warmth surrounds you immediately, but not overwhelmingly. It is a gradual thing, seeping into your cold skin, into your clothes, into the chill that had settled in your bones during your walk through the snow. Behind you, through the open door, you can still see the courtyard. The snow continues to fall. The lanterns continue to glow. The academy continues to stand, patient and quiet, wrapped in winter and waiting. Waiting for nothing in particular. Simply waiting. This is a place of safety. You can feel it in the warm air, in the soft light, in the silence that is not empty but full. Full of peace, full of rest, full of the promise that here, in this place, you can let go of the world outside. The snow falls, the lanterns glow, the academy stands, and you are home. The entrance hall stretches before you. It is long and wide, with a ceiling that rises high above, lost in shadow despite the lanterns that hang from chains along the walls. The floor is made of stone, smooth and dark, polished by time and countless footsteps. Your boots make almost no sound as you walk. The walls are lined with tapestries. They hang between the lanterns, heavy fabric that reaches from ceiling to floor, covering the stone. The colors are rich but muted in the dim light. Deep reds and blues and golds woven into patterns you cannot quite see clearly. They move slightly, almost imperceptibly, as if breathing with the air of the hall. The lanterns burn steadily. Each one hangs from a black chain, the glass panels clean and clear, the flames inside golden and still. They cast overlapping circles of light along the walls, across the floor, creating a path through the hall that is neither bright nor dark, just warm, just gentle. You walk slowly forward. There is no one else in the hall. The corridor is empty and quiet, but it does not feel lonely. It feels peaceful, like a church might feel, or a library late at night. That holds silence like something precious. Doors line both sides of the hall. They are made of dark wood, each one closed, each one identical to the others. Iron handles, worn smooth, small plaques beside each door, but you are too far away to read what they say, and somehow it does not matter. Behind those doors are classrooms, you think, or offices, or storage rooms, places where the work of the academy happens during the day. But now, in the evening, with the snow falling outside, those rooms are dark and empty and still. You continue walking. The hall seems to go on forever, but you are not tired. Your pace is slow and steady. Each step feels easy. The warmth of the building has seeped into you completely now. You no longer feel the cold from outside. It has been replaced by this gentle, ambient heat that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. Ahead, the hall opens into a wider space. You can see the edges of it, the way the walls angle away, the way the ceiling rises even higher. Light glows there, warmer and brighter than the lanterns in the hall. You can feel it even before you see it clearly. A presence, a source, heat. Not the ambient warmth that fills the corridors, but something deeper, something constant and strong. You can feel it now, even from this distance. It radiates through the air, through the stone walls, through the very structure of the building. The academy is built around this heat. You understand that somehow without being told. The building extends in all directions from this central point. Wings and towers and corridors, all spreading outward like the branches of a tree from its trunk. And here, at the center, something burns. You walk closer. The opening grows larger as you approach. You can see more of the space beyond. High ceilings, more tapestries, stone columns that rise and disappear into shadow above, and light, warm, golden light that flickers slightly, the first moving light you have seen since entering the academy. Firelight. The hall ends, and you step into a vast circular chamber. It is enormous, this space. The ceiling is so high you can barely see it, lost in darkness and smoke. The walls curve around you, forming a perfect circle, lined with more tapestries, more lanterns, more of the dark wood doors that lead to other parts of the academy. But what draws your attention, what demands it without asking, is the center of the room. There, in the exact middle of the circular chamber, sits a hearth. It is large, far larger than any fireplace you have ever seen. Built of stone, dark and ancient, carved with symbols and patterns that have been worn smooth by time. The hearth rises from the floor like a monument, like an altar. It is open on all sides, and within it, fire burns. The flames are tall. They rise and fall in gentle waves, orange and gold and white where they are hottest. They move constantly, but not frantically. There is a rhythm to them, a breathing pattern, as if the fire itself is alive and sleeping and dreaming. Heat radiates from the hearth. It fills the chamber, flowing out in waves, touching everything, warming everything. You can feel it on your face, on your hands, soaking into your clothes, into your skin, into your bones. It is not uncomfortable. It is exactly right, like stepping into a hot bath after a long, cold day. Around the hearth, benches are arranged in circles. They are made of dark wood, worn smooth, with cushions covered in fabric that matches the tapestries on the walls. Most of the benches are empty now. On a few, people sit quietly, reading or talking in low voices or simply staring into the fire. No one looks up as you enter. This is not rudeness. It is simply the way of this place. Each person is wrapped in their own warmth, their own peace, their own quiet moment with the fire. There is no need for greetings or acknowledgments. Presence is enough. You stand at the edge of the chamber, watching the fire. The flames dance slowly. They cast moving shadows across the stone walls, across the tapestries, across the faces of those who sit nearby. The light they create is warm and alive, nothing like the steady glow of the lanterns in the hallways. Above the hearth, the smoke rises. It drifts upward in lazy spirals, carried by the heat, disappearing into the darkness of the ceiling. Somewhere up there, there must be vents or chimneys that carry the smoke away, out into the winter night. But from here, it simply seems to vanish, as if the darkness itself is breathing it in. The fire crackles softly. It is the first loud sound you have heard since entering the academy, and even this is not truly loud. Just a gentle popping, a settling of logs, a whisper of flame consuming wood. The sound is rhythmic and soothing, like distant drums or the heartbeat of something very large and very old. Something lives in this fire. You do not know how you know this, but you know it with certainty. Not something visible, not something you could point to or name, but a presence, a consciousness. Something that tends the fire, keeps it burning, ensures that the academy remains warm through the long winter nights. A guardian. The word comes to you without thought, and it feels right. Someone watches over this place. Someone ensures that the hearth never goes cold, that the flames never die, that the warmth continues to flow through the stone corridors and wooden doors and high ceilings of this ancient building. You cannot see them, but you can feel them in the warmth of the air, in the steady burn of the flames, in the absolute safety that permeates this chamber. They are here. They have always been here. They will always be here. The fire burns, the smoke rises, the warmth spreads, and you are safe. You begin to walk around the chamber. Your steps are slow. So slow. Each foot lifts and lowers with careful deliberation, as if moving through water, as if the warm air has weight and substance. Your boots touch the stone floor without sound. The fire burns beside you, constant and warm. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. The rhythm is gentle, hypnotic. There is nothing to think about, nothing to plan, nothing to anticipate. Only the next step, and then the next, and then the next. The firelight moves across your face. It touches your cheek, warm and soft, then slides away as you walk. Orange light, gold light, the shadows of flames dancing across your skin, then cooler air as you move away from the hearth, then warmth again as you circle back toward it. Warm, cool, warm, cool, warm, cool. Your breathing is slow. In through your nose, the air is warm. It carries the scent of burning wood, of smoke, of stone heated over many hours. Hold, just for a moment. Then out through your mouth, slow and steady. Your breath becomes visible in the cooler air away from the fire, then disappears as you draw closer again. In, hold, out, in, hold. The fire crackles. A small sound. A log settling deeper into the coals. Sparks rise briefly, tiny orange stars that float upward and wink out before reaching the darkness above. The flames adjust, flowing around the settled log, consuming it slowly, converting wood into heat and light and smoke. Pop, crackle, whisper. You continue walking. The circular chamber curves gently around you. You follow it without thinking, letting your feet find the path, letting your body move while your mind drifts. The benches pass by on your right, the tapestries on your left, the lanterns overhead, all of it blending together into a soft blur of warmth and shadow. Step, 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 step. Outside, the snow continues to fall. You can hear it now, very faintly. Not a sound exactly, but an absence of sound. A softness in the air that speaks of snow touching stone, Snow settling on snow. The world outside growing deeper and quieter and more muffled with each passing moment. The windows are high up in the walls. You can barely see them in the darkness above the lanterns. But occasionally you catch a glimpse of glass, of snow pressing against the outside, of the cold world beyond the warm walls. The contrast makes the warmth feel warmer, the safety feel safer. Inside, outside, inside. Your hand trails along the back of a bench as you pass. The wood is smooth and warm from the fire. Your fingers move across it slowly, feeling the grain, the places where hands have worn it smooth over decades of use. The cushion beside it is soft. You can see the small indentation where someone sat earlier, their weight pressed into the fabric, still visible even though they have gone. Touch, slide, lift, touch, slide, lift. The fire continues to burn. The flames rise and fall in their eternal dance. Orange at the edges, gold in the middle, white at the heart where the heat is most intense. They move like water, like silk, like living things that have no need for thought or intention. They simply burn. That is their nature. That is their purpose. Rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall. You complete one circuit of the chamber. The room has not changed. The fire still burns in the center. The benches still sit in their circles. The few people still rest quietly, lost in their own warm thoughts. Nothing has happened. Nothing needs to happen. You begin another circuit. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. The movement is automatic now. Your body knows the path. Your feet find it without guidance. Your mind is free to drift, to float, to settle into the warmth and the rhythm and the soft, endless present moment. The stone floor is smooth beneath you, worn down by countless feet over countless years. How many others have walked this same path? How many students and teachers and visitors have circled this hearth, drawn to its warmth, kept by its safety? The stone remembers them all, holds their footsteps in its surface, polished and perfect. Step, 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 step. Your shoulders relax. You had not realized they were tense, but now you feel them drop, the muscles releasing, the weight settling. Your jaw unclenches. Your hands unfold from loose fists into open palms. Tension you did not know you carried flows out of you like water, disappearing into the warm air. Release. Soften. Release. Soften. The tapestries move slightly. Not wind. There is no wind inside, but the movement of warm air rising from the fire, circulating through the chamber, creating gentle currents that touch the heavy fabric and make it sway. Just barely. Just enough to notice if you are watching, if you are present, if you are here. Sway. Still. Sway. Still. The heat is stronger. You pass here, close to the fire. It touches your side, warming through your clothes, soaking into your skin. You can feel your pulse there, slow and steady, beating in time with some rhythm you cannot name. The fire and your heart, both burning, both constant, both alive. Beat, 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 beat. Then you move away again. The heat lessens, not gone, but gentler. The cool air touches your other side, balancing the warmth, keeping you centered, keeping you comfortable, neither too hot nor too cold. Exactly right. Exactly perfect. Warm, cool, warm, cool. Another circuit completed and another begins. The chamber is timeless. You might have been walking for minutes or hours. There is no way to know, no way to measure. Time has become irrelevant here, dissolved into the rhythm of steps and breaths and crackling flames. Step, breathe, crackle, step, breathe, crackle. Your eyelids grow heavy. Not closing, not yet, but heavier. The firelight blurs slightly. The warm at the air edges seems thicker, the shadows more substantial, holding you up, carrying you forward even as your energy drains slowly away. Heavy, soft, heavy, soft. You continue walking, because this is what you do here. You walk, you breathe, you exist in this warm, safe circle around an eternal fire. There is nothing else required, nothing else expected. Only this, only now, only the next step, and the next, and the next, and the next. A doorway opens off the circular chamber. You find it without searching, your slow circuit bringing you naturally to this entrance. It is an archway, wide and tall, with no door to block the passage. Beyond it, darkness waits, but it is not a frightening darkness. It is simply the absence of the firelight behind you. You step through. The warmth follows you, flowing from the hearth chamber into this new space, carried on invisible currents through the doorway. The cold never truly reaches this place. The heart of the academy ensures that. A corridor stretches ahead. It is narrower than the entrance hall you walked through earlier, but not uncomfortably so. The ceiling is lower here, close enough that you could almost touch it if you reached up. Lanterns hang at intervals along the walls, their light soft and golden, creating pools of illumination that overlap gently. The walls are lined with books, not bookshelves exactly. The books are built into the walls themselves, set into recesses carved into the stone, protected by glass panels that reflect the lantern light. You can see the spines through the glass. Leather mostly, some brown, some red, some black. Gold lettering catching the light. Titles in languages you cannot read. Some you can barely recognize. You walk forward slowly. The books seem endless. They continue along both walls as far as you can see. Thousands of volumes protected behind their glass barriers, preserved against time and touch and the inevitable decay of paper and binding. These are old books, ancient books, books that have existed longer than the Academy itself, perhaps. Books that remember things the world has forgotten. The corridor turns, not sharply, but in a gentle curve that follows the outer wall of the Academy. You follow it without thought, your hand trailing along the glass-covered shelves, your footsteps silent on the wooden floor that has replaced the stone. Wood floors here. Interesting. The boards are wide and dark, polished to a soft sheen that reflects the lantern light dimly. They creak slightly under your weight, not loudly, but enough to notice. The sound is comforting. Old buildings make sounds. They settle and shift and breathe. This is normal. This is safe. Creak, step. The corridor opens into a larger room. You emerge slowly, carefully, as if entering a sacred space. And, in a way, you are. This is a library. Not the corridor of protected volumes behind glass, but a true library. A room dedicated entirely to books and the reading of them. The space is vast. The ceiling rises high above, supported by columns of dark wood that have been carved with intricate patterns. Leaves and vines, and creatures you cannot quite identify in the dim light. Between the columns, bookshelves rise from floor to ceiling, creating aisles and corridors, a maze of knowledge that extends in all directions. Lanterns hang between the columns. They are smaller here than in the entrance hall, more delicate, with glass panels etched with patterns that cast complex shadows on the floor and walls. The light they provide is soft and warm, barely enough to read by, but enough to see, enough to navigate, enough to feel safe. Tables are scattered throughout the room. Large wooden tables, each one surrounded by chairs with high backs and worn cushions. On some tables, books lie open, as if someone has just stepped away and will return at any moment. On others, nothing. Just the polished wood surface, waiting. You walk between the shelves. The books here are not behind glass. They are open, accessible, meant to be touched and read and held. You can smell them as you pass. Old paper, leather, dust. The smell is not unpleasant. It is the smell of knowledge preserved, of words waiting patiently to be read again. The spines face you. Title after title. Author after author. Some you recognize, most you do not. Books on magic, on history, on philosophy, on natural sciences, on mathematics, on languages long dead, on arts long forgotten. Everything is here. Everything has been collected and preserved, and organized and protected. Your fingers touch the spines as you walk. Leather under your fingertips. Smooth where it has been handled often. Rough where a book has sat untouched for years. You do not pull any books free. You simply touch them, acknowledging their presence, their patience, their silent vigil on these shelves. Touch, 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 touch. At the far end of the library, you find a fireplace. It is smaller than the great hearth in the central chamber, but still substantial. Built into the wall, faced with stone, with a mantel of dark wood carved to match the columns. A fire burns inside, smaller flames than the great fire, but no less warm, no less comforting. Chairs are arranged before this fireplace. Deep chairs with wide arms and backs high enough to support your head. They are upholstered in fabric that has faded with age and sunlight, patterns that might once have been bright now muted to soft browns and golds. Cushions sit in each chair, plump and inviting. One chair is occupied. An old person sits there, so still they might be sleeping. A book rests open in their lap, but their eyes are closed, their head tilted back against the chair, their breathing slow and even. The firelight plays across their face, gentle and kind. You do not disturb them. Instead, you choose another chair, farther from the fire but still close enough to feel its warmth. You sit slowly, sinking into the cushions, feeling them adjust to your weight. The chair welcomes you. It has welcomed countless others before you. The fire crackles softly. The flames are smaller here, quieter, but they burn with the same steady consistency as the great hearth. They do not need constant tending. They do not need wood added or coals stirred. They simply burn, as if they too are connected to that central source of heat and light that warms the entire academy. You rest your head against the back of the chair. The ceiling above is lost in shadow. You can see the tops of the bookshelves, the upper reaches of the columns, but beyond that, only darkness. It is peaceful, this darkness. Not empty, but full of books and knowledge and years and stories. The old person across from you breathes softly. In and out. In and out. Their chest rises and falls with perfect regularity. They are deeply asleep now, the book in their lap forgotten, their body completely relaxed into the chair. They are safe here. They know it. Their body knows it. You close your eyes, just for a moment, just to rest them. The warmth of the fire seeps into you. The smell of old books surrounds you. The soft crackling of flames continues, rhythmic and soothing. Your breathing begins to match the breathing of the old person across from you. In, out, in, out. The library breathes with you. The books on their shelves, the fire in its hearth, the wooden floors and stone walls and high ceilings. All of it breathing together, slowly, peacefully, without hurry, without end. This is a place where time moves differently, where minutes can stretch into hours, where hours can pass in moments, where the boundary between waking and sleeping grows thin and permeable, where you can rest, truly rest without fear or obligation or the need to be anywhere else. The fire burns, the books wait, the library breathes, and you rest. You open your eyes. The library is darker now, or perhaps it only seems darker because you have been sitting with your eyes closed. The fire still burns in its hearth. The old person still sleeps in their chair. Nothing has changed, and yet everything feels different. Slower, softer, more distant. You rise from the chair. Your body is warm and loose. Muscles relaxed from sitting, from the heat, from the peace of this place. You stretch slightly, careful not to make sound that might disturb the sleeping figure across from you. Your back releases with a soft series of pops. Your shoulders roll. Your neck turns from side to side. You leave the library quietly, retracing your steps through the corridors of books, past the glass-protected volumes, following the gentle curve back toward the source of warmth. The lanterns guide you, their flames unchanged, eternal sentinels lighting the way. The archway appears ahead. Through it, you can see the glow of the great hearth, brighter than the library fire, more present, more alive. The circular chamber opens before you once again, and you step back into it with the feeling of returning home after a brief journey. The fire has not diminished. If anything, it seems stronger now. The flames leap higher, though not frantically. They simply reach upward with more confidence, more presence. The heat radiates outward in stronger waves, filling every corner of the circular chamber. More people are here now. The benches that were mostly empty before now hold students and teachers, some young, some old, all of them drawn to the warmth and light. They sit in small groups, talking in voices so quiet you cannot hear the words, only the gentle murmur of human speech. Others sit alone. Some read books by the firelight. Some write in journals, their hands moving slowly across pages. Some simply stare into the flames, lost in thought, lost in the hypnotic dance of fire and shadow. A few creatures are here as well. A large dog sleeps on the floor near one bench, its head resting on its paws, its sides rising and falling with deep, peaceful breaths. On another bench, a cat sits in someone's lap, being stroked slowly, its eyes half closed in contentment. Near the fire itself, something else rests, a creature you cannot quite identify. It is large and covered in fur, with a face that seems almost human, almost not. It sleeps deeply, completely unbothered by the heat. All of them are drawn to the hearth. All of them seek its warmth, its safety, its promise of rest in the midst of winter. This is the heart of the Academy, and everyone who lives here knows it, feels it, returns to it when the day is done and the night is long. You move closer to the fire. The heat is strong here, almost intense, but not uncomfortable. It pushes against you gently, like an invisible hand offering support, offering comfort. You can feel it soaking through your clothes, through your skin, settling into your bones. The hearth itself is even more impressive up close. The stones that form it are massive, each one carved with symbols that have been worn almost smooth by age. The symbols seem to move in the flickering firelight, appearing and disappearing, suggesting meanings you cannot quite grasp. They are old, these symbols, older than the Academy, perhaps as old as fire itself. The flames rise from a bed of coals. The coals glow white-hot at their centers, orange at their edges, pulsing with heat that you can feel even from several feet away. Logs rest on the coals, their surfaces blackened and cracking, their interiors revealed as pure, glowing red. They burn slowly, consumed bit by bit, turned gradually from wood into heat and ash and smoke. Above the fire, it moves in a column, straight and steady, pulled upward by the heat, by the draft, by forces you cannot see. The smoke is gray and thick, carrying with it the smell of burning wood, of oak and cedar, and other woods you cannot name. It rises into the darkness above, disappearing, going somewhere, going nowhere. You sit on a bench near the fire. Not the closest bench. That would be too warm. But close enough. Close enough to feel the full force of the hearth's heat, to see the flames clearly, to be part of this circle of warmth and safety. The wood of the bench is warm beneath you. The cushion compresses under your weight, comfortable and familiar. You lean back, letting the bench support you, letting go of the need to hold yourself upright. Your arms rest on the arms of the bench. Your legs stretch out before you. Your head tilts back slightly, and you stare into the fire. The flames dance. They move in patterns that are never quite repeated, each moment unique, each shape different from the last. Orange tongues licking at the air. Golden waves rising and falling. White centers where the heat is most intense, where the wood is consumed most completely. You begin to see shapes in the flames, not real shapes. Your mind creating images, finding patterns in randomness, as human minds have done since the first fire was lit in the first cave in the first winter. You see faces, buildings, animals, landscapes. They appear and dissolve and appear again, never lasting, never still. Time passes. How much time, you do not know. It could be minutes. It could be hours. The fire does not change enough to tell. The people around you shift and move, some leaving, others arriving. But the change is gradual, imperceptible, like watching plants grow. The warmth sinks deeper into you. It reaches places you did not know were cold. Hidden tensions, forgotten worries. They dissolve in the heat, melting away like snow in sunlight. Your breathing slows. Your heartbeat steadies. Your thoughts begin to drift, untethered, floating through your mind without urgency or direction. You think about the Guardian, the presence you felt earlier, the consciousness that tends this fire, that keeps it burning, that ensures the Academy remains warm. You cannot see them. You do not know what form they take, if they take any form at all. But you can feel them now, more clearly than before. They are in the fire, or they are the fire, or the fire is an extension of them. The relationship is not clear, not definable in simple terms, but they are here, present, watching without eyes, caring without hands, maintaining this source of heat and light and safety that has burned for centuries, that will burn for centuries more. The guardian does not sleep. They cannot sleep. Their vigil is eternal, their attention constant. They are connected to every flame in every fireplace in every room of the academy. They feel the cold pressing against the walls outside. They feel the snow falling, the wind blowing, the winter deepening, and they push back against it with warmth, with light, with the promise that inside these walls the cold cannot reach. This is their purpose, their entire existence dedicated to this one task, and they perform it perfectly, without complaint, without rest, without end. They are the Hearth Guardian, and the Academy is their charge. You feel gratitude. Not a thought exactly, more a feeling that rises from somewhere deep inside. Gratitude for this warmth, for this safety, for this place where you can rest without fear, where you can close your eyes and know that you will wake again, that nothing will harm you, that the fire will still be burning when you open your eyes once more. The flames continue their dance, rise and fall, appear and disappear, consuming wood, creating heat, casting light, rising as smoke. The eternal cycle, the ancient rhythm. Fire doing what fire has always done, what fire was born to do. You close your eyes again. The heat plays across your face, orange light through your eyelids, the smell of smoke and burning wood, the sound of crackling flames and murmured conversations and deep, peaceful breathing from the sleeping creatures nearby. This is the heart of the Academy. This is why everyone gathers here, not for warmth alone, though the warmth is necessary and good, but for this feeling, this sense of being held, being protected, being part of something larger and older and more permanent than any one person or one life. The fire burns, the guardian watches, the Academy breathes, and you are safe, completely safe, perfectly safe, forever safe. The fire speaks without words. You understand this now, sitting in the warmth, eyes closed, breathing slowly. The flames do not use language as you know it. They do not form sentences or thoughts that can be captured and held. But they communicate nonetheless, through warmth, through light, through the steady, eternal burning. The guardian is present in every flicker. You sense them more clearly now, as if your time sitting here has opened a door in your perception. They are ancient, so ancient that age becomes meaningless. They existed before the Academy was built. They will exist after it crumbles to dust, though they work tirelessly to ensure that day never comes. They have no body, or rather, their body is fire itself, flame and heat and light. They exist in the spaces between atoms moving faster and faster until they glow. They exist in the transformation of solid wood into gas and ash. They exist in the rising column of smoke that carries the past upward and away. The guardian does not think as you think. Their consciousness is not made of words or images. It is made of temperature and fuel consumption and oxygen flow. They know when a log needs to shift. They know when more wood should be added. They know how to adjust the flame to burn hotter or cooler, brighter or dimmer. They know every hearth in the Academy. You understand this suddenly, with complete certainty. The small fireplace in the library where you sat earlier, the guardian tends that flame. The fireplaces in the student dormitories, in the teachers' quarters, in the kitchens and workshops and study rooms scattered throughout the vast building. All of them are connected to this central source. The great hearth is the heart. The other fires are arteries. Warmth flows through them like blood, carried by forces you do not understand, distributed according to need. A room that is very cold receives more heat. A room that is warm enough receives less. The guardian balances everything, constantly, without effort, without thought. This is not magic. Or perhaps it is. Perhaps magic is simply what you call things you do not fully understand. The guardian does not cast spells or perform rituals. They simply exist, and their existence ensures that the academy remains warm. They do not demand worship. They do not require thanks or offerings or prayers. They do not even require recognition. They would tend the fires just as faithfully if everyone in the academy forgot they existed. Their purpose is not contingent on being acknowledged. It simply is. But you acknowledge them anyway. Silently, internally, you extend a thought in their direction. Not words exactly, more like a feeling. Gratitude, recognition, a small acknowledgement that they are here, that they are seen, that their endless vigil is appreciated. The fire flares slightly, just for a moment. Just the flames barely rise a fraction higher, burn a fraction brighter. Then they return to their previous state, continuing their eternal dance as if nothing happened. But you felt it, a response, a recognition of your recognition. The guardian acknowledging that they have been acknowledged. A brief moment of connection between your consciousness and theirs, human and flame, mortal and eternal. Then it passes. The connection fades, not broken, but simply returning to its normal state. The guardian has other work to do, hundreds of fires to tend, thousands of decisions to make each moment about heat and fuel and airflow. They cannot focus on you for long, and that is fine. You do not need more than that moment, that brief flare of flame, that small acknowledgement. It is enough to know that you were heard, that your gratitude was received, that for one instant the guardian turned their attention toward you. You open your eyes. The circular chamber looks the same as before. People still sit on benches, reading, talking, resting. Creatures still sleep on the floor and in laps. The fire still burns in the center, tall and bright and warm. But it feels different now. More alive, more present. Or perhaps you are simply more aware of the life and presence that was always there. The guardian has not changed. You have changed. You see more clearly now. You understand more deeply. The wood in the hearth shifts. A log rolls slightly, settling deeper into the coals, flowing around the new configuration, finding new paths through the fuel. Sparks rise upward, dozens of them, tiny orange stars that float and spin and wink out before reaching the darkness above. This is not random. The log did not shift by chance. The guardian moved it, adjusted it, positioned it precisely where it needed to be for optimal burning. Every aspect of this fire is tended. Every flame is guided. Nothing is left to chance. The guardian never rests. This thought comes to you with sudden clarity. They cannot rest. They cannot take a break or a vacation or a moment to themselves. If they stopped tending the fires, even for an hour, the cold would begin to seep in. Students would wake shivering. Teachers would abandon their rooms. The academy would become uninhabitable. So they do not stop. For centuries, they have maintained their vigil, through wars and peace, through feast and famine, through seasons when the academy was full of students and seasons when it stood nearly empty. The guardian has been here, burning, warming, protecting. Do they feel lonely? The question surprises you. You had not thought of the guardian as having feelings, as being capable of loneliness or any other emotion. But now the question is there, and you cannot unask it. Perhaps they do feel lonely. Perhaps in their own way they long for connection. Not constantly. They are too busy for that, too focused on their work. But in quiet moments, when all the fires are burning well and the academy is warm and there is nothing urgent to attend to, perhaps they feel the isolation of their existence. They are unique. There is no other being like them. No companion who understands what it means to be made of flame, to exist without body, to dedicate your entire existence to the warming of stone and wood and flesh. They are alone in their nature, in their purpose, in their eternal vigil. Unless another thought comes. Perhaps the guardian does not experience loneliness as you understand it. Perhaps their connection to the fire, to all the fires, to every student and teacher who sits in the warmth they provide, is itself a form of companionship. Perhaps they feel connected to everyone all the time, through the heat that binds them. You will never know. The guardian cannot explain their inner experience to you. You cannot ask them questions and receive answers in words. The distance between your consciousness and theirs is too great, the difference too fundamental. But in that brief moment of connection, when the flame flared brighter, you felt something. Not loneliness, not exactly, but a kind of deep, patient presence. An awareness that spans centuries. A dedication that requires no external validation. A love, perhaps, though love of a kind you have never experienced and cannot fully imagine. Love expressed through heat and light. Love that asks nothing in return except that you allow yourself to be warmed. That you sit in the circle of firelight and let the cold be pushed away. That you accept the gift of safety that is offered freely, constantly, without end. This is what the guardian gives. And in sitting here, in accepting the warmth, in feeling the heat soak into your bones, you receive their gift. You participate in their purpose. You justify their vigil. The fire burns for you, not for you specifically, but for everyone like you, everyone who needs warmth, everyone who seeks safety, everyone who comes in from the cold and sits before the flames and lets the heat restore them. This is enough. This is everything. The guardian does not need worship or recognition or thanks. They need only this, that the fires they tend fulfill their purpose, that the warmth they create is received, that the academy remains a place of safety in the midst of winter. You settle deeper into your bench. The wood is warm against your back, the cushion soft beneath you. The fire continues its dance, consuming wood, creating heat, casting shadows that move like living things across the stone walls. Time passes, slowly, peacefully, without urgency or direction. The guardian continues their eternal work, and you continue to rest, warm and safe, in the circle of their care. The flames rise, the flames fall, the warmth spreads, and all is well. Something shifts in the air, not dramatically, not suddenly, but you feel it nonetheless. A change. A subtle difference in the quality of the warmth, in the brightness of the flames, in the atmosphere of the circular chamber. Around you, others feel it too. People look up from their books. Conversations pause. The sleeping creatures stir slightly, though they do not wake. Everyone turns toward the fire, drawn by some instinct they cannot name, responding to a call they cannot hear. The flames burn steadily, but there is something different about them. They seem more focused somehow, more present, as if the Guardian's attention has sharpened, as if they are concentrating more fully on this moment, this fire, this specific warmth. You stand. The movement feels natural, unforced. Your body knows what to do even though your mind does not yet understand. You step closer to the hearth, joining others who have done the same, forming a loose circle around the central fire. The heat is stronger here. It pushes against you like a physical force, warm and insistent. Your face flushes. Your hands grow warm even though they hang at your sides, far from the flames. The air itself seems to shimmer with heat. Then you understand. Tonight is the coldest night of winter. The thought comes from nowhere, but you know it is true. Outside these walls, the temperature has dropped to levels rarely seen. The snow falls thicker. The wind blows harder. The cold presses against the academy with more force than it has all season. The Guardian feels this. They feel the cold trying to seep through the stone walls, trying to find cracks and crevices, trying to steal the warmth from inside. They feel the fires in distant rooms struggling to maintain their heat. They feel the need for more warmth, more light, more protection, and they are responding. The flames rise higher, not frantically, but deliberately. The Guardian is drawing on deeper reserves, burning hotter, creating more heat to push back against the unprecedented cold. But even they have limits. Even fire cannot burn forever without fuel. You look around. Near the walls of the circular chamber, you see stacks of wood. Logs split and dried, ready to be added to the fire, but they are farther away than they should be. Someone should have brought them closer throughout the day, preparing for this night, but perhaps they forgot. Perhaps they did not realize how cold it would become. The wood needs to be brought closer to the fire. Not into the fire. Not yet. But close enough that the Guardian can draw it in when needed. Close enough that the transition from stack to flame can happen smoothly, without interruption, without the fire diminishing even for a moment. This is what needs to happen. You see it clearly now. The task that presents itself, the way you can help, it is small. It requires no special skill or knowledge. But it is necessary, and so you move. You walk to the nearest stack of wood. The logs are heavy, but not impossibly so. They are rough under your hands, bark still clinging in places, smooth where it has been stripped away. You lift 3 logs, cradling them in your arms, feeling their weight, their solidity. Others are doing the same. All around the chamber, people have risen from their benches. They move to the wood stacks, lift logs, carry them toward the fire. No one speaks. No one directs the work. Everyone simply understands what is needed and moves to fulfill that need. You walk slowly back toward the hearth. The logs are heavy, but the distance is short. You place them on the stone floor near the fire, close enough that the Guardian can reach them, far enough that they will not ignite prematurely. The heat from the flames warms your hands, your face, your entire body. You return to the wood stack. Lift more logs. Carry them to the fire. Place them carefully. Return again. The work is repetitive, meditative. There is no need to think, only to move, only to lift and carry and place. Around you, others do the same. A young student carries logs that are almost too heavy for them, struggling slightly but managing, their face determined. An old teacher moves slowly but steadily, carrying fewer logs but making many trips. A person with a walking stick sets it aside and uses both hands to carry wood, their movements careful but purposeful. Even some of the creatures help. The large dog wakes and takes a log gently in its mouth, carrying it to the fire and dropping it where it belongs. The cat-like creature drags a smaller piece of wood across the floor, pulling it with its paws. The large, furry creature that you could not identify earlier lifts entire armfuls of wood, their strength immense, their movements gentle. The chamber fills with quiet activity. Footsteps on stone. The sound of wood being lifted and placed. Breathing that grows slightly heavier with effort, but never becomes labored. Everyone works at their own pace, carrying what they can, resting when needed, continuing until all the wood has been moved. You make another trip, and another, and another. Your arms begin to ache slightly, a pleasant ache that speaks of useful work, of muscles being used for a purpose that matters. The warmth of the fire soaks into you with each trip, restoring energy, providing comfort even as you labor. Gradually, the stacks of wood near the walls diminish. The pile near the fire grows, logs arranged in neat rows, close enough for the guardian to reach, organized without anyone having to give instructions. The collective understanding of what is needed guides everyone's actions. Finally, the last log is brought. A child carries it, small hands gripping the wood carefully. They place it at the top of the pile near the fire, then step back, their task complete. Around the chamber, others also step back, returning to their benches, resuming their rest. You return to your bench as well, sitting slowly, feeling the warm wood beneath you, the soft cushion accepting your weight. Your arms are tired but satisfied. Your body is warm, almost hot from the exertion and the proximity to the fire. The guardian responds. You feel it immediately. The flames shift, reaching out, drawing a log from the pile into the fire. Not physically. You do not see the log move. But suddenly it is there, in the flames, beginning to burn, adding its fuel to the great heat. The fire grows brighter. Not dramatically, but noticeably. The warmth increases. You can feel it spreading through the chamber, flowing down corridors, seeking out every cold corner of the academy. The guardian is using the new fuel, distributing the heat where it is most needed. Outside, the cold continues its assault, but inside, the warmth holds firm. The fires continue to burn. The guardian maintains their vigil, and the academy remains safe, protected by flame and stone and the quiet cooperation of everyone who lives within its walls. You did not save the day. There was no danger, no crisis, no moment of dramatic rescue. You simply helped. You moved wood from one place to another. It was small, easy, almost nothing. But it was enough. The guardian needed fuel closer. You provided it. They needed help preparing for the coldest night. You gave that help. The task was small, but small tasks matter. They are the foundation on which safety is built. The fire burns brighter now. The chamber is warmer. People settle back into their rest, their books, their conversations. The creatures return to sleep. Everything returns to how it was before, except now there is more wood near the fire, more fuel for the guardian to use through the long, cold night. You close your eyes. The warmth wraps around you like a blanket. You can feel the cold outside pressing against the walls, but it seems distant now, abstract. The warmth is real. The safety is real. The fire is real. And you are here, in this place, on this night, warm and safe and at rest. The flames continue their dance. The Guardian continues their work. The night continues to deepen. And you continue to rest, knowing that you have done what was needed, that you have contributed to this place of safety, that you are part of something larger than yourself. The fire burns, the warmth spreads, the academy stands, and all is well. Snow falls heavier now. You cannot see it from where you sit, but you can feel it. The slight drop in temperature near the windows high above. The way the wind sounds different, muffled by dense snow, pushing against the walls with soft, persistent pressure. The coldest night of winter has fully arrived, but inside the warmth continues. The great hearth burns steadily, consuming the wood that was brought near, converting it into heat and light. The Guardian works tirelessly, distributing warmth to every corner of the academy. People begin to drift towards sleep. Around the chamber, you see heads nodding, eyes closing, bodies relaxing completely into benches and cushions. Some people lie down on the floor near the fire, using their coats as pillows, too tired or too comfortable to return to their rooms. No one stops them. This is acceptable here, even welcome. On nights like this, when the cold is strongest, it is better to stay close to the source of warmth. Better to rest here, in the circle of firelight, than to venture through cold corridors to distant rooms. You watch the fire. The flames continue their endless dance, orange and gold and white, rising and falling, consuming wood, creating heat, casting shadows that move across sleeping faces like gentle dreams. Time has become strange. You no longer have any sense of whether it is early evening or deep night. The fire looks the same. The darkness beyond the lanterns reveals nothing. The academy exists outside of time here, in this warm circle where nothing changes and everything is constant. Your breathing slows. Deep breaths now, long and slow. In through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a moment. Out through your mouth, emptying completely. The rhythm is automatic, your body finding its own pace, matching the rise and fall of the flames. In, hold, out, in, hold, out. The heat seeps deeper, into your muscles, into places you did not know existed. Tension you were not aware of carrying releases, flowing out of you like water, leaving you loose and heavy and perfectly comfortable. The fire crackles, a log shifts, sparks rise, the flames adjust and continue their dance. The Guardian works, invisible and constant, maintaining the heat, ensuring the safety, protecting everyone who rests in this warm circle. You think about the cold outside. It is so close, just beyond the wall, just on the other side of that stone and wood and glass. The snow falling endlessly, the wind blowing hard enough to form drifts, the temperature dropping to levels that would freeze exposed skin in minutes. But you cannot feel it. The Guardian's warmth is too strong, the hearth's heat too constant, the fire too well tended. The cold cannot reach you here. It presses against the walls, but the walls hold. It seeks cracks and gaps, but the warmth fills them first. You are safe, absolutely, completely, without question or doubt. This is perhaps the safest you have ever been. protected by ancient stone and eternal flame, and a guardian who never sleeps, never rests, never wavers in their dedication. Your eyes grow heavier, the lids pull downward, weighted by warmth and peace and the deep comfort of absolute safety. You try to keep them open, to watch the fire a little longer, but they drift closed despite your intention. The fire continues to burn. You can still see it somehow, even with your eyes closed. The orange glow through your eyelids, the dancing shadows, the living light that fills the chamber and pushes back the darkness. Your head tilts to the side, resting against the back of the bench. The wood is warm and smooth. Your neck releases, no longer holding your head upright, allowing the bench to support you completely. Your shoulders drop. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. Around you, others are the same. Sleeping, lost in the space between waking and dreaming. The chamber is full of soft breathing, of gentle sighs, of the sounds of people completely at peace. The creatures sleep deeply. The dog's breathing is slow and rhythmic. The cat purrs softly, a sound like distant thunder. The large, furry creature makes no sound at all, but its chest rises and falls with perfect regularity. The snow continues to fall outside, accumulating on roofs, piling against walls, covering paths and courtyards and gates. The world outside is being buried in white, transformed into a landscape of snow and shadow and cold. But inside, the fire burns. The warmth holds. The safety continues. The guardian maintains their vigil, protecting everyone who rests, everyone who dreams, everyone who has surrendered to the peace of this place. The flames rise and fall. Orange, gold, white, dancing, consuming, creating, the eternal cycle, the ancient rhythm. Fire doing what fire has always done. Your breathing matches the rhythm of the flames. In when they rise, out when they fall. Your chest rises and falls. The fire rises and falls. The breath and the flame moving together, connected by something you cannot name but can feel deeply. In, out, in, out. The warmth is complete now. It has reached every part of you. Your toes, your fingers, the top of your head, the base of your spine. There is no cold left anywhere in your body. Only warmth, only comfort. Only the deep, satisfying heat of a fire that will never go out. Time continues to pass, but you have lost all sense of it. Minutes or hours or days, it no longer matters. You exist in an eternal present, where the fire burns and the warmth spreads and the safety holds. The guardian watches. You can feel them more clearly now than ever. Their attention spread throughout the academy, monitoring every fire, adjusting every flame, ensuring that no one grows cold, that no room loses its warmth, that the protection they provide never falters. They are tired. The thought comes to you suddenly. Not physically tired. They cannot be, having no body to fatigue, but tired in some other way. The weight of centuries, the burden of constant vigilance, the endless responsibility of keeping an entire academy warm through winter after winter after winter. But they do not stop. They cannot stop, will not stop. Their dedication is absolute. Their purpose is clear. They are the Hearth Guardian, and this is what Hearth Guardians do. They burn, they warm, they protect, without complaint, without rest, without end. You feel gratitude again, deep and powerful, not just for this warmth, this safety, this moment. All the nights the Guardian has kept the fires burning, all the winters they have pushed back the cold, all the people they have protected over all the years. The fire flares slightly, just for a moment, just barely. A response to your gratitude, an acknowledgement. The Guardian has heard you again, felt your appreciation, accepted your thanks. Then the flames return to their previous state. The dance continues, the warmth spreads, the night advances, and you sleep. Not suddenly, a gentle slide from waking into dreaming. The boundaries blur, the fire remains, the warmth remains, but you drift away, carried on waves of heat and peace and absolute safety. The fire burns, the Guardian watches, the snow falls, and you dream. Deep dreams, warm dreams, safe dreams, dreams of fire that never goes out, dreams of warmth that never fades, dreams of guardians who never sleep. The night continues, long and cold and dark, but inside the fire burns, and inside you are safe. The Academy sleeps. Not just the people in the circular chamber around the great hearth. Everyone, everywhere. In dormitories and common rooms, in private quarters and shared spaces. Throughout the vast building, people have surrendered to sleep, wrapped in the warmth the Guardian provides. The fires burn in every hearth. Small flames in small fireplaces, larger flames in larger spaces, all of them connected to the central source, all of them tended by the same consciousness. The Guardian's attention spans the entire Academy, maintaining every fire, ensuring every flame continues to burn. The silence is profound, not the silence of absence, but the silence of peace. The building breathes quietly. Wooden floors settle with soft creaks. Stone walls release the day's warmth. The wind outside presses against windows without breaking through. In the circular chamber, no one moves. The sleepers remain motionless, lost in deep rest. The creatures do not stir. The fire seems quieter now, its crackling reduced to the softest whispers, as if it too is trying not to disturb the sleeping. You float in the space between sleep and waking. Not quite one, not quite the other. Aware of the warmth on your face, aware of the bench beneath you, aware of your breathing, slow and deep, but also far away, drifting, disconnected from your body in that pleasant way that comes with deep relaxation. The fire continues to burn. You can sense it even without looking. Feel its heat. See its glow through your closed eyelids. Hear its gentle crackle. The fire is constant, eternal, always there, always burning, always warm. Outside, the snow has stopped falling. You sense this too, though you cannot see it. The change in the air, the settling of the atmosphere. The storm has passed. The coldest part of the night has arrived, when the temperature drops lowest, when the air is stillest, when the world holds its breath. This is the moment the Guardian has been preparing for. All evening they have been building heat, storing warmth, ensuring that every fire burns with enough fuel to last through these coldest hours. Now, in the deepest part of night, their work reaches its peak. The great hearth burns steadily, not higher, not brighter, but with perfect consistency. The flames rise and fall in their eternal rhythm, consuming wood at exactly the rate needed to maintain the optimal temperature. Not too hot, not too cool, exactly right. The Guardian's presence fills the Academy. You can feel them more clearly than ever, their consciousness distributed through every flame, every coal, every spark. They are everywhere at once, aware of everything, tending everything, protecting everything. they feel the cold outside. It presses against the walls, seeking entry, looking for any weakness. But the walls hold. The warmth pushes back. The cold cannot enter. The academy is sealed, protected, inside. Safe. Everyone sleeps deeply. The students dream of home, of summer, of things that bring them comfort. The teachers dream of knowledge, of books, of truths they have discovered and truths they still seek. The creatures dream whatever creatures dream, of food and warmth and safety. And you dream of fire, not frightening fire, not destructive fire, but nurturing fire, protective fire, fire that warms without burning, fire that lights without consuming, fire that keeps the darkness at bay and makes a space where life can thrive. You dream of the guardian. Though they have no form, in your dream they have shape, a figure made of flame and shadow, neither male nor female, neither young nor old, simply present, simply there, standing in the center of the great hearth, arms spread wide, flames flowing from their fingertips, heat radiating from their body. In the dream, they turn to look at you. Their eyes are fire. Their smile is warmth. They do not speak, but you hear them anyway. Not words, never words, but meaning, pure and clear. You are safe. You have always been safe. You will always be safe. I am here. I will always be here. The dream shifts. Now you see the academy from above, as if flying, as if you are the smoke rising from the chimneys. You see the building spread out below you, its many wings and towers, its courtyards and paths, all of it covered in snow. All of it dark except for the windows, which glow with warm light. You see the fires inside, every hearth visible somehow, every flame burning, and you see the connections between them, lines of heat and light spreading from the central hearth to all the others, a network of warmth, a web of protection, all of it maintained by the guardian. The building looks alive, like a great organism, breathing, its heart the central hearth, its blood the warmth that flows through corridors and rooms. It is beautiful, ancient and beautiful and alive. The dream fades. You drift deeper, away from images and thoughts, into pure sensation, warmth on your skin, softness beneath you, the gentle pull of gravity holding you against the bench, your breath moving in and out, your heart beating slowly, steadily. Time passes. How much you cannot say. In sleep, time becomes meaningless. What feels like hours might be minutes. What feels like minutes might be hours. There is no way to know. Only the endless present of sleep. The fire burns, always, constantly, without interruption. The guardian tends it through every moment, adding fuel when needed, adjusting the flame, ensuring the warmth never falters. The cold outside intensifies briefly. A final surge of winter's power. The temperature drops further. The wind picks up, howling around the towers, pressing against the walls with renewed force. This is the deepest cold, the heart of winter, the moment when the season shows its full strength. But the guardian is ready. The fires burn brighter. The warmth increases. Heat flows more strongly through the academy, meeting the cold's assault with equal force. The temperature inside does not drop, not even slightly. The warmth holds firm. The sleepers do not wake. They do not stir. They do not even shift in their sleep. They remain deep in rest, completely unaware of the battle being fought on their behalf. The cold trying to enter, pushing back. The guardian maintaining their vigil. This is how it should be. The guardian exists so that others do not have to worry, so that students can study without fear of cold, so that teachers can teach without distraction, so that everyone in the academy can go about their lives without giving thought to the winter outside. The guardian carries that burden alone. They always have. They always will. It is their purpose, their nature. Their choice, if beings like them can be said to choose. They are the Hearth Guardian, and this is what Hearth Guardians do. Slowly, the cold begins to lessen. Not dramatically, but gradually. The wind dies down, the temperature stops dropping, the deepest cold has passed. The worst moment has come and gone. Dawn is still hours away, but the night has reached its peak and now begins, imperceptibly, to move toward morning. The fires can burn less intensely now. The guardian reduces the heat slightly, conserving fuel, adjusting to the lessening cold. The warmth inside remains constant. The sleepers feel no change, but the work becomes easier. The vigil continues, but with less strain. In your sleep, you sense this. The guardian's presence feels slightly lighter, still watchful, still careful, but no longer pushing quite so hard against the cold. They have won this night's battle, protected their charges, kept everyone safe through the coldest hours. You dream of morning, still far away, but coming, the sky lightening gradually, the snow glowing pale in the pre-dawn light, the academy standing proud and warm, smoke rising from its chimneys, windows glowing gold. A place of safety in the midst of winter. The fire burns. The guardian watches. The night continues, but now it wanes rather than deepens. And you sleep. Safe, warm, protected, held in the circle of the guardian's care. Forever safe, forever warm, forever home. You feel it. Something changes. A shift in the air. A difference in the quality of light against your closed eyelids. The night is ending. Morning approaches. You open your eyes slowly. The circular chamber looks different in the early dawn. The fire still burns in the great hearth, but its light seems softer now, competing with the gray light that filters through the high windows. The lanterns along the walls appear dimmer, their flames pale against the coming day. Around you, others begin to stir. Not quickly, not suddenly, but gradually. A person shifts position. Another opens their eyes. Someone sits up slowly, rubbing their face. The awakening is gentle, natural, like rising from water. You sit up as well. Your body is stiff from sleeping on the bench, but not painfully so. The warmth has kept your muscles loose. You stretch carefully, feeling your spine pop softly, your shoulders release, your neck loosen. The fire has diminished slightly. The flames are lower now, the wood more fully consumed, but the heat remains strong. The guardian continues their work even as day approaches. The academy must stay warm. The cold outside has not vanished just because morning comes. You stand slowly. Your legs are steady beneath you. The floor is warm under your feet. You walk toward one of the high windows, wanting to see the world outside, to confirm that night has truly passed. The window is too high to see through directly, but you can see the light it lets in. Gray and cold, the color of winter dawn. You can see snow on the windowsill outside, piled high, untouched. The storm has passed. The coldest night is over. Behind you, the chamber fills with quiet activity. People rising, gathering their belongings, preparing to return to their rooms, their lives, their daily routines. The night's vigil is ending. Normal time is reasserting itself, but the fire still burns. It will always burn. The Guardian's work never ends. Even as people return to their daily activities, even as the Academy comes back to life with classes and meals and conversations, the Guardian will remain here, tending the flames, maintaining the warmth, protecting against the cold that never truly goes away. You return to the hearth one last time, standing close, feeling the heat, letting it soak into you one more time before you leave. The flames are beautiful in the morning light, orange and gold dancing against the gray dawn, the last stars of night meeting the first light of day. The Guardian is still here. You feel their presence as clearly as ever. They do not rest just because the night has passed. They do not celebrate their victory over the cold. They simply continue, burning, warming, protecting, as they have always done, as they will always do. You think your gratitude toward them. One more time. One last silent thank you for the warmth, the safety, the protection through the coldest night. The fire flares slightly in response. A small acknowledgement. The Guardian has heard. Then you turn away. Time to return to your room, to wash, to change clothes, to begin the day properly. The night's vigil is over. Life continues. But you will carry the memory of this warmth with you. The feeling of absolute safety. The knowledge that the Guardian is always here, always watching, always protecting. You walk toward one of the corridors that leads away from the circular chamber. Behind you, others do the same. A quiet procession of people moving from the heart of the Academy back toward its edges. From the communal warmth to private spaces. From the shared vigil to individual lives. The corridor is empty and quiet. Your footsteps echo softly. The lanterns still burn along the walls, though their light seems weaker now, outmatched by the dawn filtering through occasional windows. The tapestries hang motionless. The air is still warm, heated by the network of fires the Guardian maintains. You pass closed doors. Behind them, more people are waking. You can hear soft sounds, footsteps, voices, water running. The Academy is coming back to life after the long night, but it does so slowly, gently, without hurry. Ahead, you see daylight. A window, larger than the others, set into the outer wall. You approach it and look out for the first time since entering the Academy yesterday evening. The world is white. Snow covers everything. The courtyard below, the paths, the fountain, the gates. Everything buried under thick drifts that glow softly in the early morning light. The sky is pale gray, cloudless now, the storm completely past. It is beautiful. Cold and stark and beautiful. The winter showing its power, its ability to transform the world into something clean and simple. Everything and reduced pure to white and gray and the dark lines of tree branches against the sky. But you are inside, warm, safe, protected by stone walls and the Guardian's eternal fire. You can admire the beauty of the snow without fearing it. You can appreciate the winter without being threatened by it. You continue walking. Your room is not far now. Just a few more corridors, a few more turns. You know the way without thinking. Your feet carry you automatically. Other people appear in the corridors, walking like you, moving from sleep to wakefulness, from night to day. Everyone quiet still, not yet ready for conversation, still wrapped in the peaceful silence of early morning. You reach your door. The wood is dark and solid. The iron handle cool under your hand. You push it open and step inside. Your room is small but comfortable. A bed, a desk, a chair, a wardrobe, a small fireplace built into the wall, and in that fireplace, a fire burns but steady. The Guardian has kept this flame alive all night, even though you were not here to appreciate it. The room is warm, welcoming, ready for your return. You close the door behind you. The sounds of the corridor are cut off. You are alone now, but not lonely. The warmth surrounds you. The fire crackles softly. The Guardian's presence extends even here, to this small personal space. You sit on your bed. The mattress is soft. The blankets are warm, warmed by the fire that has burned all night. You could sleep more if you wanted. Return to bed properly, pull the covers over yourself, drift back into dreams. But you do not feel tired. You feel rested, restored. The night spent sleeping near the great hearth has done something to you, renewed something deep inside. You feel stronger, calmer, more yourself. You look at the small fire in your fireplace. The flames dance gently, orange and gold, smaller than the great hearth, but no less important. This fire warms your space. This fire protects you. This fire is tended by the same Guardian who tends all the others. You are connected to the great hearth, to the Guardian, to everyone else in the Academy who benefits from the warmth. You are all part of the same system, all protected by the same vigilance, all warmed by the same eternal flame. Outside your window, the dawn continues to brighten. The gray sky lightens gradually toward pale blue. The snow glows brighter. Somewhere in the distance, a bird calls. Life continues. The world turns. Winter holds the land, but spring will come eventually. And until it does, the Guardian will keep burning, keeping the Academy warm, keeping everyone safe, their vigil never ending, their dedication absolute. They are the Hearth Guardian, and this is their purpose, their nature, their eternal gift. You rise and go to your small window, looking out over the snow-covered grounds. The Academy stands solid and strong. Smoke rises from dozens of chimneys, gray columns against the pale sky. Inside those walls, hundreds of fires burn. And tending them all, watching them all, maintaining them all, is the Guardian. You cannot see them. You never will. They have no form to see, no body to point to. But they are there. They are always there. In every flame, in every coal, in every spark, and they are the warm wisp that keeps the cold at bay. They are the light that pushes back the darkness. They are the safety that allows everyone else to sleep peacefully, to study freely, to live without fear. The Guardian of the Hearth, the Keeper of Flames, the eternal presence at the heart of the Academy. You place your hand against the window. The glass is cold from the outside air, but behind you, your room is warm. The fire burns. The heat spreads. And somewhere deep in the center of the Academy, the great hearth burns with flames that will never die. This is home. Not just this room, not just this building, but this warmth, this safety, this knowledge that you are protected by something ancient and constant and absolutely dedicated to your well-being. The snow lies thick outside. The winter continues. The cold presses close. But inside, the fire burns. And inside, you are safe. Forever warm. forever home. The academy wakes. The day begins. The Guardian continues their eternal vigil, and all is well. All is warm. All is as it should be.